incoming. This is muted. Alright. Let's get the stream out onto X. Enter. Let's fix the post. Sorry I'm late, guys. I'll do it like that. Sorry I'm late. Lots of stuff today. Is this live? I hope. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, like I was saying, not much news today, or not much good news today, I guess I should say. Let's fix that. Get this muted. Here we are. So today is Monday. Oh, I'm getting the middle of the frame. Sorry about that. Today is Monday, December 15th, 2025. This is episode number 25 of Addressing the Issues. I do hate to report it, but it seems that we are a nation under attack. I'm going to go through the events from this weekend chronologically, so I hope everybody can understand the significance of what's been happening, but it's not good. So on Saturday morning, we were informed of an ISIS attack that claimed the lives of 2 U.S. service members in Palmyra, Syria. Today we learned the names of these individuals. They were Sergeant Edgar Brian Torres Tovar of Des Moines, Iowa, and Sergeant William Nathaniel Howard of Marshalltown, Indiana, both of which served in the Iowa National Guard. This was reported to have been a lone gunman attack in which the assailant was eliminated. 3 other service members were reportedly injured during the attack, and this attack also killed a civilian interpreter. In the aftermath of this attack in Syria, President Trump, when asked if the U.S. would retaliate, replied, "Yes, we will." But this event seemed to have kicked off a weekend of terror for both the U.S. and nations abroad. And Saturday evening, a shooter opened fire in a classroom at the Boris and Hawley Engineering Building at Brown University, leaving 2 deceased and 9 others injured. It was reported that the assailant yelled something before or when entering the classroom before opening fire. I'll let you assume what this could have been, but I doubt it was something like "I like chicken nuggets." It seems likely that these all were connected, in my opinion. We now know that the deceased at Brown University were 19-year-old Ella Cook from Alabama and 18-year-old Muhammad Aziz Umarzakov from Uzbekistan, who moved to Virginia. The assailant in this instance is still at large after reports of detaining 2 false suspects. But this investigation seems to, or it has been, it doesn't seem to be, it has been a huge failure from the start. Given Brown University is one of the most surveilled campuses in the United States, with over 800 cameras on campus. In the immediate aftermath, a suspect was claimed to have been detained. After that, a notification was released to students claiming so, before reversing course less than an hour later, claiming the actual assailant was still at large. And we get to 6 hours later at a press conference after the shooting. There was still no video of the assailant in the building, as they claimed they could not recognize him. But there was footage from the building in which the attacks occurred, according to university and local officials. The university president at the time, 6 hours later, had no knowledge of who or what was going on in the classroom prior to the shooting, which is troubling. Almost every university has a system in which they know what's going on inside of every building on campus. It's unbelievable that an Ivy League institution in America doesn't. Roughly an hour after that, the FBI released a video. It was taken of a computer screen it was recorded from a recording device, recording a computer screen that depicted a masked man dressed in all black walking around a street corner. I'm sure everybody's seen that by now. But on Sunday morning, a 24-year-old ex-U.S. infantryman from Wisconsin was detained in a Coventry, Rhode Island hotel before he was released later on Sunday, as it was determined that he was not related to the case. During this time, he was detained. The lockdown on campus was once again lifted. But as of right now, the actual assailant is still on the run. The only thing the public has did have until about an hour ago, was a low-quality video of a computer screen of a person in all black walking around a street corner. No face, just them walking in basically a black silhouette. The FBI and the university need to release more video. They did today. It didn't help, I'll be honest, but the FBI needs to release more video. It doesn't matter if you want to secure a conviction, that if you never find the culprit, you won't be able to. And currently the culprit, the assailant, is a public safety risk. The public need to know what to look out for, because once again, millions of students are in class today. And this person has proven once that they're a threat to students in particular. But if this person got away once and has not already fled the United States, I'm sure they feel empowered to attack again, and likely they're already planning their next attack since they haven't been arrested for doing the first one, unfortunately. But the clock is ticking, and the public should assume themselves at risk until this person is arrested, also unfortunately. But in the last hour, I saw that the Providence Police Department has released a second video. This video is both further away and less detailed than the first. But keep in mind that Brown University is a gun-free campus. It's been a major point of this whole thing. And then Sunday morning, a father-son duo, Sajid and Naveed Akram, with an alleged ISIS affiliation, opened fire on Bondi Beach, Australia during a Hanukkah celebration. The attack took the lives of 15 civilians and one of the assailants, the father Sajid. It also left 42 injured, including the son, who was critically injured, the son Naveed. A bystander originally from Syria, named Ahmed Al-Ahmed, was captured on video leaping into action by disarming one of the assailants. He snuck up behind him and took his gun. But reports on the ground also make claims that police were seen running from the scene or hiding instead of running towards it, which I think most people would find troubling, especially after incidents that have occurred, such as Uvalde and the like. And Australia has strict gun laws, but in the wake of this incident, they're calling for even stricter ones to be written in the law. But that's a brief synopsis of this weekend. But let's look at the only verified commonality between these last two incidents. The last two in particular, because Syria is a different story. It's not a developed country like the U.S. or Australia. But Brown University and Australia have strict gun laws, and not a single bystander in either was able to act or intervene with his or her own weapon. So I guess remember on this Bill of Rights Day, remember to acknowledge how pertinent the Second Amendment and the right to bear arms is to our safety. If the person who recorded for over 10 minutes the side angle of the Bondi Beach attack was armed with a handgun instead of a smartphone camera, we may have had a way different result in that instance. And if any of the students at Brown were armed and were able to return fire back towards the shooter, he wouldn't have been able to get off a reported 40 shots from a handgun before casually walking away down the street. But on this Bill of Rights Day, just remember that these rights shall not be infringed. You can't let this turn into stricter gun laws. The Founding Fathers meant this. It was not only written for your safety, but for the safety against a foreign invasion. And my advice to you, don't be scared that this could happen to you. Just simply be prepared that it can. Just be prepared. I guess in the last week, there was also 2 troubling non-terror or gun-related incidences. The first one that has seen a small amount of national news headlines was the Savannah, Georgia attack, where a man burned a woman with chemicals in a public park. Ashley Wazalewski suffered 2nd and 3rd degree burns over a large portion of her body, including her face, after a man poured acid on her in a park. She was airlifted to the Augusta Burn Center, where she is currently receiving treatment. But also in Georgia, this time in North Atlanta High School, this one's received far less news attention by the media. A student was assaulted and stabbed in the face and eye with a pair of scissors during a fight. The student who was stabbed in the face was taken to a local hospital. The entire incident, like the one which unfolded at North Forsyth High School in North Carolina, was recorded on a student's phone, with students standing all around. After the incident, the assailant can be heard in the video yelling, "White bitch" to the victim, similar to the quote by Irina Zarutska's murderer exclaiming, "I got that white girl." I guess the synopsis of this is we need to address the issue of public safety in America. And as of right now, the best option for you is to learn how to and practice defending yourself. That seems to be the only option currently. In another unfortunate news story, an atmospheric river over the Pacific Northwest has caused major flooding over parts of Oregon and Washington state. This has caused near-record flood levels, landslides, the washing out of roads, and evacuations from the area. Water rescue teams are already in the area working to save people from submerged vehicles, flooded houses, and buildings. But the rain is expected to continue to fall over the next couple of days, further exacerbating a already dire situation in the area. So just keep all these people, whether it be from the Pacific Northwest to Rhode Island to Georgia to the family of the Syrian or the soldiers in Syria, I guess they would be in Iowa, to the people in Australia, keep them all in your prayers. This has been a horrible weekend for many people around the world, and it's unfortunate to see. But even with all this bad news, that's what I'm about to say. Even with all this bad news, there still are incredible things happening around the world as well. In recent days, both the countries of Chile and Bulgaria have both rejected socialism and looked to depart from their status quo. Chile did this through an election, voting for a Republican candidate against the Communist Party rival. While in Bulgaria, the people rose up against corruption in government, causing the prime minister and his cabinet to resign less than a year after taking office. I would say this is a sharp contrast to our currently self-imposed handcuff government, which at one point decided to shut itself down for 43 days this year, which squeezed the time frame for year-end bills such as the healthcare reform bill for 2026 and the National Defense Authorization Act for 2026. That's about all the good news we have for today. I wanted to remind everybody this year's holiday shipping dates for the contiguous U.S. are coming up soon. For USPS Ground Advantage service, the date you need to order your packages for them to arrive by Christmas is December 17th. For first class mail service, this is December 17th. Priority mail service is December 18th. Priority mail express service is December 20th. And the dates for Hawaii, Alaska, and U.S. territories are earlier this year, with the deadline for USPS Ground Advantage service being tomorrow, December 16th. So if you're looking to get anything shipped for Christmas, if you're in the contiguous lower 48, you have until Wednesday, if you are in a U.S. territory, Alaska, or Hawaii, if you seek to use USPS Ground Advantage service, you'll need the order by December 16th, tomorrow. This is really all I had time to look into today. Tomorrow I'll be looking into the arrest of 4 individuals who were charged by the FBI related to the foiled Turtle Island Liberation Front attack, which was planned for New Year's Eve in Los Angeles. But I felt there's a little bit too much to unpack there today. I had to verify a lot of things for the main story today, which was everything that happened over the weekend. But I do think there's a little bit, there are some things that are a little bit suspicious about how the press conference went today. But I'll get into all that tomorrow. I didn't have time to unpack all of that, but I do think it was a little bit of a, I guess, a ploy for brownie points because they have not arrested the brown shooter. I guess a little bit of a programming update. Today, I believe, is the day that my interview on The Update went live. Those were the same people who I interviewed on Friday last week. But the episode featuring me should be live on their channel. I'd implore you all to go check that out. Great people. It was a lot of fun. And I'll look to find the link for that once this goes live. I believe their episode went live with me at the exact same time I started today, 4:45 or Eastern time, our time. 4:45 Eastern Standard Time is when their videos normally go up. So I'll look for that link and I'll put it in the description of both Rumble and YouTube so you guys can go check that out if you'd like. I hope you do. They were awesome people. They gave me a lot of their time. So I appreciate them for that if they're watching. But that's all I have for you today. I had to look through a lot of things. I wanted to get all the facts right, line up that story for everyone or that timeline, line up that timeline so everybody could understand exactly how things occurred this weekend and the order in which they did. I do believe it's rather pertinent that it started in Syria, related to ISIS, and then it ended in a ISIS-related attack in Australia on Sunday. But I do think I am worried that this could continue through New Year's, such as the foiled plot from the Turtle Island Liberation Front that was supposed to happen in Los Angeles. So that's all I have for you today. Make sure you all like. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. If you're on Rumble, please follow. Turn on your notifications. I'll be back live tomorrow at 4:45. And I guess I'll be talking about the Turtle Island Liberation Front and the FBI press conference today, along with anything else that happens tomorrow. There wasn't much going on today that was more pertinent than, I guess, these stories, I do believe. So that's all I have. So I guess I'm just going to sign off here. I'll see you again tomorrow. Tell my people on the East Coast, I hope you get home safe. Tell my people further west, I hope you get home safe as well and finish up your workday strong. I'll see you guys again tomorrow with hopefully